Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Elm Creek here in Farming Simulator 22 with me, C. Waddy. I have obviously finished doing the straw bale collecting business in the last episode. So I'm just going to spend what's left of today doing a spot of ploughing, getting some of our fields prepositioned for turn off the mulch. Interesting, there's an edge of field 7 that needs ploughing. Couple of fields that need lime and stuff. Field 9 needs lime. Field 12 does. Obviously, they've not been lime spreaded because they had straw all over them until just recently. Get the old GPS course set up. Okay, so it looks like we need to mulch a field. Here we go then. We are doing some ploughing. I'll remember to take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Because I don't think I made a screenshot for the first video that I've just recorded. I'm recording these videos back to back. Okay, so it's the edge of field 7 that we need to pay attention to when we come to do the ploughing. Do we have the option to create fields with this? We do. So yeah, Stevie's given us the create field option. On his plough. Little trolley bit there, look. I have to put number plates on equipment to tell certain people what each machine is. Because some people use the wrong tools to do the wrong jobs. So, yeah, this time round I've started putting number plates on, using the number plate system to mark up my equipment on the server so players know what job a tool does just by looking at it, so they know this is a plough, not a cultivator. If you do a cultivating contract, don't go running off to the field with this on the back of your tractor. It won't work. Same with the rollers. I've actually put soil roller on the soil rollers, the ones that you use after you've seeded, and I've put grass only on the grassland rollers that you use on grass fields after you've mowed them, just so people know the difference. And pick up the right tools. I've also coloured them differently on the server. The grass rollers are green, and the so yes, we'll get the field ploughed, and then I'm going to have to go get the mulcher to do field over yonder. Of course, what I can do is I can hire a worker. There are no restrictions on this map as far as workers go, unlike my new Calmsden series. So, yeah, once I've done a bit of ploughing, I can say to myself, yeah, I know how ploughing works. So, let's hand over to a worker and let him certainly bringing up enough stones, isn't it? Good job we got a stone picker. And then we got a rock crusher that makes lime out of the stones, so that will be incredibly useful. Which is kind of one of the reasons why I would have thought you would have done the ploughing and everything before you lime spread on this particular situation, because, as I say, this is a brand new map. It's a fresh save, and these fields haven't been worked before. It would have made more sense for other players to have ploughed these fields after mulching. So we've got the stones, pick the stones up, put them in our machine that makes the lime, because I'm guessing players have had to buy that lime, which is spending money. Spending our money. I kind of begrudge, and it's probably the same in real life. In real life, I begrudge paying for anything that I can get for free. If I can get something for free, even if it means I have to wait a little bit longer, then, you know, if I pay for it, I don't mind, because I'm getting it for free. I'm saving money. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have done the lime spreading just yet. I probably would have lime spreaded after we'd done the stones and everything. And prior to seeding, I would have done the lime spreading. I would have then come over the top of the lime fertilizer spreading. I would have then done our seeding. And then I would have come over the top of the seeding with the second fertilizer application. And then job done. Sit back, wait for the fields to grow, wait for the harvest. Again, it comes down, I suppose it comes down to players and play styles, really. I've got my own routine for working through fields. I work through my fields in a certain order. I do certain, I do my jobs and tasks on fields in a certain order, and I don't deviate from that, because it works. I found it works. It gives me the best results in games. Now, there are obviously other players that they do different tasks at different times and out of sequence to me. I mean, that's, their choice, and, that's the way they play the game, and that's kind of how they do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It just, obviously, in a multiplayer environment, it's a little bit confusing and a little bit jarring when you, like, say, I come to do a job and it's like, oh, why has that been done now? Why has the line been put down now? Because we haven't done the stones yet. And stuff. And usually it all works out after, like I say, after the first season. Once the fields have been put through a cycle, it does tend to even out a bit. It does tend to come good. It's just, when you first jump into a map, it's the same on every map, because everything's in such a diabolical state. When you first start any map in Farm Simulator, all the fields are in such a sorry state. It's like the previous owners never cared for them at all. It's probably why they have ended up selling the farm or going out of business or whatever, because they just stopped caring. So your first year on any map in Farm Sim is damage repair. You're trying to put everything back to a good state, a good status, and give yourself a good base to build on after that. So certainly from year 2, everything tends to fall into place. You don't have to do quite so much ploughing in year 2, unless you want to plough in year 2. You probably don't need to lime spread in year 2, unless you fancy just doing it, just to ensure that you don't hit that issue where every 3 years suddenly everything needs doing again, and you kind of want to stagger your fields a little bit. I mean, certainly I've done playthroughs where sometimes I will plough a field every year rather than cultivate it. And there are some playthroughs I've done in past Farm Sim games where I've applied lime every harvest to a field. Just because I don't want to get into that situation where suddenly I've got every field that needs lime at the same time. But it's nice. I do enjoy this version of Elm Creek. I've said it many times in the streams. I kind of wish this was the map Giants gave us. Certainly from certainly the perspective of the farm the starting farm on this map is a lot better than the one Giants gave us. You know, we've got all fully functional sheds and buildings where we can store all our equipment and everything. You know, we've got all the animal pens right out the gate, so we haven't got to buy those at great expense. And you know, we can start doing the animals as soon as we want to do animals. I think it's really nice. Obviously, you can load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch mode, and none of that stuff is there. So you're free to put your farm wherever you want on the map. So if you wanted, you could go and put your farm down here. Stevie's moved a few of the buildings and that around down here and gave you a bit more of a open area here for placing stuff. You could go and buy the farms up in the corners of the map. However, note that none of the fields up here are proper fields. They've all been made into grass fields. Hence why they are not numbered anymore and why there's no actual field numberings. You will notice on this map, like I say, on this version of the map, there are only 27 actual numbered fields. A great reduction from the, 70 that's in the Giants version. So, yes, people say, well, you've lost fields. Technically. But the fields we have got are much bigger than the ones in the Giants version of the map. They're much larger fields. So they're better to work. And they're more productive. But there is absolutely nothing to stop you if you did buy like the farm up in the corner here. Or, you know, you bought the farm over here. There's nothing that stops you from ploughing these back. Ploughing these areas of grass back into fields and making them into fields if you didn't want to do grass. I kind of like the concept that Stevie was going for, I think, with this map, in that this was obviously in Giants map. When you come up here, this is the sheep farm, so you would expect to find grass and sheep pens and stuff on it. This was the stable, the horse area, so you would expect to find grass fields and stuff up there for the horses. Obviously, the area down here was the cow farm. You know? And you've got some fields here, which, again, would be ideal if you're doing cow farming. You've got 19 is a grass field. So for getting your silage, your hay and stuff. You could also get a couple of these fields. And again, turn those into grass to give you more silage and hay if you were doing it as a cow farm. If you were going with the concept of what is already built into the map, like I say, and like this the area down here, obviously, this is the pig farm. This is the pig farm on the map. So again, you probably want these fields to be producing your crops to feed your pigs. Right, at the end of this row, I'm going to go down the edge of this field. Because I want to see if it removes that needs ploughing status. And if it does, what I'll do then is I'll let the worker carry on ploughing the rest of this field. I'll go get the mulcher. And I'll set about doing field 5 there. So yeah, I want to test this row out. I'm probably going to turn off the DPS now. let the worker take over. Ploughing is indeed being done. Excellent. Excellent. Right, I'll leave him to do that. Mr. Helgi's Fent is over here with the mulcher. Am I going to use his Fent? That would be rude of me, I think. Be rude of me to use his particular brand of vehicle. What I might do is grab the JCB. Oh, it doesn't have the all-wheel steering. That's a pity. That's a bit of a pity. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the front weight. Because this Mr. Helgi's got this thing set up much different to how I use this. And I'm going to use it a bit different because he has the unit on the back. And I don't like that. I prefer to have it on the front like a mower. Again, everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing things. I, like I say, prefer to have my mulcher. And I like to have the unit on the front, rear unit on the back. Oh, is it doing it for every vehicle? Because I don't like that. I would much sooner have... That's not right. I can tell you now that that is not right. No! That's better. Yeah, it's a shame that the big JCB doesn't have the all-wheel steering that the little one does. Oh, because it would have been really useful for this. Would have made it a little bit more nimble. Yeah, I like rocketing along with the mulcher. In the front position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just turn. Just going to go along here to a bit of a headland. I know, oh, there's a mod I meant to look for today and download. The trailer joint rotation mod. I believe it's been converted for FS22 from FS19, which does make reversing with implements on the back of your hitch a lot more responsive. They tend to move far more realistically. Which is obviously very important when you're doing anything like this. Yeah, I'm just going to do the mulching. So, do a headland and then I'll go back to working my up and down rows. It just gives me a little bit more room to turn around. Because you'll notice I don't tend to lift with the mulcher. This is one tool I generally do just leave on the ground. Like I said, I was kind of hoping though that the JCB would be a little bit more manoeuvrable. Maybe I should have got the smaller one, the one with the fertilizer on the spreader on the back, because that one I know has got all-wheel steering. I'm just going to end up mulching all of this. People say, you're making a mess. Maybe I am making a mess. It's a shame really that the mulcher on the rear, this mod, wasn't just a complete unit. So it was like 9 meters and it was the full, so you didn't have to bother with the front bit, you know, or the little bit, the small unit on the front or the small unit on the rear if you put it on the rear. Because again, I think it would have just been better as a single unit. Right, what I'm going to do... I am going to put it back on the rear, actually. I've decided now. I know people are going to accuse me of messing about, but... let's put it on the rear. Now my tractor's probably going to be unbalanced because now there's no weight on the front. It still works just as well in this variation. See, weirdly, that shows both units have lifted up in the top left corner. It's not actually lifted up. The only thing that bothers me about running the mulcher in this orientation is that the rear unit's the wrong way round. You need to go back to the workshop. You'd need to go back to the workshop and customize the machine to put the attacher on the other side, because the chains are the chain side is the input. That's the input, like it is on the wide unit there. You can get in a position where you can see. So yeah, the chains are the front, the panel, the panel bit, the flappy bit is the output. So as you can see, the small unit on the back is actually blowing the mulch material towards the front of the tractor, and it shouldn't. It should blow it towards the rear. Oh, there's the GPS bug that you get on multiplayer. It doesn't turn off. Yeah, I can't use the raise and lower all tools command. The raise and lower all tools command doesn't seem to apply to this either. It only lifts up the one unit. Now I've had that issue with some mowers as well. Where they don't correctly to try and neaten this area up a bit. Oh, somebody's going to go mad at me. It's like, why have you ruined all the grass and all the pretty flowers and all the bushes? Did. Because I chose to. It'll be fine. It'll be reet. Right, let's turn around. I'm going to go mulching along here now. And just to even up the top of the field a bit where I've been turning around with the the tool lowered. What is a little bit super weird about it all I find, when you go into the map screen and have a look, oh, it's not done it anymore. It used to do like fertilizing off the field. I wish there was an easier way to lower and raise both units at the same time, or turn on and off both units at the same time. However, the controlling game that turns on and off all tools and raise and lower all tools doesn't seem to work on this particular piece of equipment. Which is making it a little bit problematic for me. So Mr. Plow has finished his field. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get that trailer joint attacher mod downloaded and installed. I need to find a big tractor that's got all-wheel steering on a big tractor. So not bad. We've got 2 fields ploughed. We've got a field mulched. So, you know, we're making progress. I mean, for the first day of August, we've done a lot on this one day. Because we've got all the fields harvested that we're ready to harvest. We've done straw collecting and baling. We've got some lime spread on some fields. We've got some and we've got mulching done on several of the fields as well. So we're making good progress. So, I'm going to say thank you everybody for tuning into today's video. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Please could you go ahead and click that like button for me before you head off to watch whatever else is you're now going to go off and watch. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already doing so. Don't be afraid to leave your comments, questions, suggestions, feedback in the comment section down below. And don't forget to share the video with everyone you know, everywhere you can, as that's all very helpful. And I will be back with some more Elm Creek content very soon. I don't know whether the next video in the series will be a stream video. Possibly might be. A stream VOD, perhaps. But I will definitely keep you guys informed. There we are. Finished mulching. Sometimes GPS gets stuck. Right, I'm going to go grab my front weight, put it back on the JCB, and put the mulcher back in the shed for now. I'm going to pick the plough up, make sure I have finished ploughing all the fields, even that edge of that field that hadn't previously been ploughed. I will remember to do that. So yes, everybody, for now, I'm going to say take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching.